In 1971, a psychologist named Philip Zimbardo wanted to understand how people behave when given power over others. He wondered, do people naturally act cruelly, or does the situation they're in bring out certain behaviors? To explore this question, he set up an experiment in the basement of Stanford University. He turned part of it into a fake prison. Then, he invited 24 college students to take part in a study. These students were healthy, well-adjusted, and had no criminal background. They were randomly divided into two groups, prisoners and guards. The students who were assigned as prisoners were arrested at their homes without warning. Real police officers picked them up, handcuffed them, and took them to the mock prison. They were fingerprinted, stripped, and given prison uniforms and numbers. They were told they would be referred to only by their number, not their name. Meanwhile, the students assigned as guards were given uniforms, sunglasses to hide their eyes, and wooden batons. They were told they were in charge and had to keep order, but they were not allowed to use physical violence. At first, everything seemed fine. The guards were unsure of their role, and the prisoners tried to follow the rules. But within just a day or two, the behavior of the guards started to change. They began to act more dominant and strict. They gave prisoners pointless tasks, like repeatedly counting off or doing push-ups. Some guards started to act cruelly, insulting the prisoners and depriving them of basic things like blankets or bathroom breaks. The prisoners, in turn, began to feel helpless. Some cried. One even had a breakdown and had to be released early. What's shocking is that these were all ordinary young men. None of them had a history of violent behavior. But once they were placed in a system where they had power, and once others were stripped of their dignity, everything changed. The experiment was supposed to last 2 weeks. It was shut down after only 6 days because it had gone too far. Even Zimbardo, who was the lead researcher, got caught up in the experiment and didn't fully realize the harm that was happening until an outsider came in and told him that what he was doing was wrong. This experiment raised serious questions about human nature. How could normal people turn cruel so quickly? Does power make people bad? Or do situations have more influence on behavior than we usually think? Zimbardo concluded that the environment and the social roles we play can strongly shape how we act, often more than our personal values. In other words, it's not just bad apples that are the problem. Sometimes the barrel itself, the system or context, is what turns people rotten. The experiment also teaches us something about how we judge others. We often believe that if someone is acting badly, it must be because they're a bad person. But this study suggests we might be too quick to judge. Maybe we should ask, what situation is that person in? What kind of pressure are they facing? We don't always see the full picture. After the experiment ended, some of the guards were shocked by what they had done. They said they didn't think they were capable of acting that way. Some prisoners said they truly felt like they had lost their identity. It shows how deeply roles and expectations can shape our thinking and behavior, even if we're not aware of it. Many people have criticized the Stanford prison experiment. Some say it was unethical. Others say it was poorly designed. And those criticisms are fair. But despite its flaws, it remains one of the most powerful examples of how people's actions can change based on the situation they're in, and how easily we could dehumanize others if we're not careful. It's a warning, really. A warning about how we treat people who are seen as less than us, whether it's prisoners, people from other social groups, or anyone who seems different. When we have power, we have a responsibility. And when we see others acting badly, we should remember that context matters. The Stanford prison experiment makes us think, would I act differently if I were in a uniform with authority? How easily would I follow orders, even if they harmed others? Would I speak up, or would I stay silent? These are not comfortable questions, but they are important ones. In the end, this experiment reminds us that we are not just individuals. We are also shaped by the systems and roles around us. And if we want to create a better world, we need to design environments that bring out the best in people, not the worst.